In this video, we're going to look at Solana. Now, Solana has been forming a beautiful consolidation pattern on top of the 786, and we've recently even seen a retest of the 21 SMA, and we're currently challenging a key resistance pocket in the Fibonacci extension. So I'm going ahead and I'm going to show you what I'm seeing on the charts.
Hi, I'm Martin. I'm the founder of Captain Crypto's Compass. I'm a trader and a professor at the Financial Freedom Academy. I am passionate about helping you to achieve financial freedom through the art and the gift of trading. I will be providing you with actionable technical analysis and insights on your favorite cryptocurrency projects to help you make better and more informed decisions. If you're ready to take your trading to the next level, you're in the right place.
So I've opened up the 1 week chart on Solana on Binance, and there's a couple of things that I want to draw our attention to. Now, the first one is this uptrend that we see taking these recent pivot lows last pivot lows in June in 2023, and these recent pivot lows gives us a visual representation of a potential uptrend, and we can see that Solana has been respecting this specific uptrend. Also, I've also gone ahead and highlighted the 786 using the Fibonacci retracements. So this is different from the Fibonacci extensions from the previous pivot highs to lows. And this highlighted a key accumulation pocket on top of the 786. Now, we can see that Solana has been accumulating on these levels for many months, and we're finally trying to make a move and break higher and potentially challenge our previous pivot tops. We saw a double top pattern forming with Solana. We can see that was the previous highs in November 2021, and we recently pushed right into this double top pattern in January of this year, 2025, and currently Solana has been accumulating on top of the areas and accumulating on our support zones, and it's looking like it's trying to make a push higher to challenge this double top pattern. But the first signs that I want to see here is just what are some key areas of support. Now, I've gone ahead and highlighted this support pocket here between roughly 160 to about 180, and we can see that the moving averages, both the 50 SMA and the 21 SMA, are sitting inside of this zone. So I'm looking at this area as a key area of support for a continuation push higher, and just taking a measured move from the Fibonacci extensions to highlight this, we can see that taking from the previous pivot lows to pivot highs to pivot lows, highlighted this key area here for us. This is where I'm looking for support to start re-entering with Solana. So I've highlighted this area for me here between roughly 180 and 160, give or take, on top of the moving averages. Now, we can also see from this impulsive push higher that we are currently trailing inside of our resistance area. Now, it's a positive thing that we can see also, as well as we are holding candle bodies inside of this Fibonacci resistance area. Now, how I came to this is I'm looking at the trends from our previous pivot highs to pivot low to pivot high, and this highlighted this key area between the 0.5 and 618 as our next battleground, and we can see we are currently in that. Now, I've gone ahead and marked this area as orange, indicating and showing me that this area is being challenged. This is the battle zone, and what's positive for me is we are seeing candle body closes inside of this area trying to flip this resistance area to support. So that's looking fantastic.
Hey, hope you're enjoying the content so far. Please remember to hit the like button and the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications.
For me, we can also see the moving averages are starting to curl up with this trend line. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Solana can do. I'm hoping to keep on holding this area as support for a potential push higher. But if we do break this resistance area here and the support band we're currently facing, I'm also highlighting this key retracement area between roughly $180 all the way back down to about $160 as our next accumulation area for Solana. Now, you can also see this area has a lot of confluence with both the Fibonacci's and the trend line and the moving averages, and so just keeping that in mind that we could see a potential flush out into these support zones in future. But looking at our targets here, our next logical target would be this double top. I've highlighted this area here for us in this red box here between roughly about $253 all the way to about almost $296 as the next potential target. So if that were to be the case and we can start finding support, I've got a couple of scenarios that I'm looking out for. The first one is to hold this area as support. So let me visualize this potential push higher, coming back down, testing this as support and distributing in this phase until we can finally see a push and try and test this double top pattern. The other scenario that I'm looking out for here would be a holding this as resistance and pulling back a bit further into our support zones onto the moving averages. So that would be looking something like this, a push higher and a break back down into our support zones, and then trying to challenge this again before trying to take out that double top. So those are the two scenarios that I'm currently looking out for. I would obviously, when it pulls back into these lower support areas, this would be a higher conviction accumulation area for me, but I'm also looking out for the potential of holding this Fibonacci area as support. So that's looking fantastic. Now, if we were to follow through with this momentum, if we can challenge the double top, we're looking at a potential increase of roughly 20 to about 40%, give or take, 40, maybe 41% to the previous double top. And if we can start holding this as support, I have highlighted a key Fibonacci resistance areas on the larger time frames. Now, this is taking a measured move from our pivot low in September 2023, our pivot high in January 2025, and our recent pivot low in April 2025. And this gave me this resistance pocket in the Fibonacci between the 0.5 and 618, the golden zone, between roughly about $400 to up to about $560. So that would be the next logical level where we can start expecting resistance to come in. So I'm looking out for this. There are some fantastic upside potential targets for Solana. So the first one would be the double top, giving us that 30 to 40% increase. And if we can hold this, the 0.5 and 618 is sitting at roughly about a 90% to about 170% increase in Solana. So that's also looking fantastic. Higher up, I've also got the Fibonacci retracement targets. So taking the Fibonacci's from the previous pivot high to low, this gave me the 1.27, 1.272 at roughly about $660, the 1.414 at roughly about $1,000, and the 1.618 at roughly $2,200. Now, I'm not sure if Solana will be able to reach those levels in this cycle, but it's just something that I'm keeping in mind for if we do have a blow off top. Those are the targets that I have for this larger moves. But let's take it level to level. Let's first just try and conquer this double top, and once we've conquered the double top, we can try and look and target this key resistance area in the Fibonacci's here. But it's looking fantastic for a continuation push higher. I'm excited to see what Solana does in the future in the next couple of months, but this is my setup. These are my accumulation levels and my potential targets for profit taking. So peace and love and happy trading.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this content, hit the like button, hit the sub button, and hit the bell notifications. Also, remember to click the link in the description below to join my mailing list, where I'll be sending you free emails and trading videos, also market report updates weekly to help you stay ahead of the herd. As always, this community would not be the same without you, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. Peace and love. See you next time.